Okay, now let's turn our focus to the insights of business visionaries on the new era of U.S.-Japan relations. I am so excited to welcome two distinguished leaders who are at the forefront of this transformative period and who can bring invaluable insights to our discussion today. First, we have Mr. Takeshi Niinami from Suntory, a company that was founded 125 years ago and is the third largest maker of distilled beverages in the world. My husband asked me to send a personal thanks for the Suntory Whiskey AO. Mr. Niinami serves as a vice chair of our board of counselors and is also the chair of Keizai Doyukai. Joining him is Mr. Sawada, my boss, from NTT, Nippon Telegraph and Telephone, which is the fourth largest telecommunication company in the world. Sawada-san also serves on our board of counselors and is the chair of the board of the Japan-US Business Council. Moderating our discussion today is Ms. Audrey Yamamoto, President and CEO of the US-Japan Council. Please join me in welcoming them as they share the perspectives on navigating the exciting new era of US-Japan relations.
Thank you so much, Sawada-san and Niinami-san, for joining us today to be part of this fireside chat. We appreciate you making time, given your busy schedules. I know everyone's really excited and looking forward to hearing your insights and perspectives. So we'll go ahead and dive right in. Given this new era of US-Japan relations that we're entering, it'd be great to hear your perspectives on some of the opportunities, but also the challenges that your companies are facing. Niinami-san, how about we'll start with you?
Me first? Yes. Good morning. Thank you for let me join this great panel, and especially my boss, Sawada-san.
No, not boss.
We are very
Our colleague.
Let me talk about the first challenges. I think the current challenge is the first, the slow economy of the U.S. and in the world, and we've been struggling what to do with the current inconfidence of the consumer in United States. Please look at the kind of slide. Perhaps you know what we are doing there. And lack of supply of whiskey is causing lots of problems, and that's why my back is always hurting, because I apologize to everybody. But by the way, that's not my explanation. That's not a challenge. As a matter of fact, since we acquired the Beam, which happened 10 years ago, and we globalized pretty much, and that created as much as $50 billion eventually over 10 years, and mostly United States. And we relied on the US economy a lot. But again, economy is soft. Second, we enjoy the globalization. That's our leverage, but it's in question. Second, the challenge is, where is the globalization? I think, is that gone or not? I think in the middle. So that's a second challenge. Third, Gen Z, they don't drink. No. Come on, so you have your children, let them drink. So, and appallingly, 20% of Gen Z, they don't drink, but they smoke. You know what I mean? Cannabis. And so that's a huge headache. That's a huge challenge for us. And fourth, I would say, health consciousness. So people are drinking less and less. And I'd like to go back to the first point. The people had lots of cash in the pocket because of the subsidies from the government. It's depleted. So all of a sudden, people started to trade down. So those are challenges, but always good things. One, we have a RTD. Have you ever tried our RTD? It's just like a seltzer. We are nobody in the United States, but look at the can in the center, ready to drink. I think it's been growing with a double digit in the United States, mostly drunk by Gen Z. So I love Gen Z because we are number 3 in the world already without the US. But US is the key. And this needs a lots of effort of technology R&D. So we are working between Japan team and the US one to work together to address the less drinking, but this kind of trend well supported by Gen Z. So US is so important for us. There are so many challenges up there, but I would like to leverage the opportunity like this one. And this will be the key factor for us to grow. And, but I don't know if Mr. Trump comes into globalization of even the RTD would be in trouble. So that's a concerning factor. So that's, we need more opportunity. And lastly, we are putting lots of resources to non-sugar but natural sweetener. That's a huge competition with the Coke. We are on the par with the Coke. And 80% is complete, but 20% needs lots of effort. And we are talking between our team and the US. If we get there, we can be by far number 1. So which means health conscious is such a great opportunity for us in terms of technology. Lastly, we are getting lots of technology in terms of the sustainability from the US. And we apply the technology into Japan. So the relation has been so good with the challenges and opportunities. But I'm so optimistic. So the relation between the two is first and foremost. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Sawada-san, how much?
Good morning, everyone. That's an impressive and also remarkable comment, and including
my boss.
Insightful. Not my boss. No, your boss. We are calling it. I'm belonging at Kedan Lens. Head of the Doyukai. I'm only for one more member. So
come on.
But anyway, so Niinami-san very focused to the health consciousness. I want to focus on the energy issues. The most big challenge of all of us is the dilemma, is the demand and restriction. Restriction is from a viewpoint of energy consumption coming from carbon neutrality. On the other hand, AI will extending a huge volume of electricity will be needed. According to IEA, the International Electricity Association mentioned double in these 5 years. We will need the expanding of demand. So it's, Niinami-san mentioned the technologies. That's a good opportunity to develop the new innovative technology. Eventually, we will focus is the nuclear fusion. But before the fusion, we will have, for instance, a fast breeder reactor, or the much more new technology in renewable energy. And we very focus in the silicon photonics technology into semiconductors that we call the ion. Those type of new technology will open the era, new era. So the challenging is equal opportunities. The same as
Similar.
leverage,
Right.
including a Zenji.
Okay. Great, thank you so much. The next question is for Niinami-san that's related to sustainability. Given that we know that there's great urgency around climate change and resource depletion, many companies worldwide are adopting sustainability as part of their business strategy. Would love to hear more about what Suntory is doing in this area and some specific initiatives that you're implementing to ensure a more sustainable future.
Thank you. I don't have to talk about perhaps net zero. We are working on it, but everybody is struggling what to do with the scope 3. And we are bringing two things. One, technology such as coffee field and barley field, we brought the generative agricultural technology, but it's not enough. And second point is we are working with the peers, industry peers, because this domain is not the one we can deal with on our own. So bringing a lot of parties as partnerships to resolve the issue. But I'm more or less sure that by 2050, I don't think the world can achieve the goal, but we have to make every effort. Second, water. That's our kind of signature leadership. We pledged that by 2050, we will be able to replenish all the water we used for our business, because water is our blessing. So Hibiki Yamazaki comes out of the great quality water. So we want to replenish water to the next generations to come. So that's what we are doing. And in this country already, we achieved the level where we can replenish twice as much as we used as for the natural water. So we have the more than 20, 30 factories in the world. At least in those areas, we like to replenish the water as much as we used. The third, circulation. We pledged that we will be using all the sustainable PET plastic bottle, which means from bio or from recycling. That is a huge, huge challenge. So that's why we brought the technology from the US. And to enjoy the economy of scale, we brought more than 45 industry partners to achieve the goal. And we will build the first factory within a few years' time in the Kanto area, so that we can apply that technology to achieve the all recycled plastic that produces all components of the plastics, including jet fuel. So those, actions are all, I think, to require new technology. But one key thing is new technology comes out one after another. So the incumbent technologies we are using are getting obsolete over time. So that's a huge, huge concern on my mind as CEO. And that costs a lot. Anyway, technology costs a lot. So how we can mitigate the risk of, I would say, new technology coming out, that fact is so much, compelling for us to accept, but we don't want to be obsolete. We want to achieve the pledges. But anyway, we are working on the concept, growing for good. So we grow with society. So stay tuned. We'll make every effort to achieve the pledges. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And speaking of technology, maybe Sawada-san can help solve some of those issues for you. Given that NTT is at the forefront of advancing AI technologies, I would love to hear your thoughts on opportunities for US-Japan cooperation in using AI to address some of our global challenges.
Yeah, so the Niinami-san mentioned the two contradicted issues existing in the world. In that case, we need to make a unity of opposite. It's being consistent. Those type of coexisting model in the sustainability and the growth. It's the same one in AI side. So in United States, very big the GAFA or those type of new technology innovator providing AI, but they want to have everything. However, in a world is a very diversified, and also we need much more collaboration in the world. In that case, we need to connect each other even in AI world. For instance, we are going to start solution combined with Microsoft. that AI level. That's very easy to combine because of our AI we call the Tsuzumi is a very compact and efficient model for Japanese language. And also we don't need plenty of GPU. It means power consumption compared with the GPT-3 is 1/20th, only for 5%. Those one is very easy to combine to the big AI, generative AI systems. That is one of the solutions to very sophisticated solution we can provide to our customers, especially for business side. And the next steps, AI should be connected to each other. We call the AI constellation. It means we cannot control, we might not control the AI in the future. In that case, AI should be controlled by AI. So we call that's AI constellations. AI contain the other AI. AI support the other AI. Those type of collaboration in an AI world we need to have. That's our concept in the moment.
Great. Thank you so much. Shifting gears a little bit to leadership, which is really core to USJC. Would love to hear both of your perspectives on your own leadership sort of guiding principles as leaders of global companies. So Niinami-san, how about we start with you?
Well, nowadays I'm asked by my board members what's going to be happening in the world and what is the business plan, let's say 5 years time. And I can't tell you what's going to be happening in the world. But as CEO, we have to make a plan. So 10 years back, I didn't think about the geopolitics so much. First, definitely macro economies of those countries we are offering products. So now, geopolitics first. Second, economic analysis, which means we have to raise our radar much higher to bring more intel. So that's why 2 years ago, we started to invest a lot to intelligence activities. And we opened a Washington, D.C. office and put the resources bringing from some companies, or I would say one company where I used to work for, and well, somebody knows. And Singapore, London, and Tokyo. Tokyo is iHouse, led by the James Kondo. So, which means spending thousands of dollars to bring information so that the CEO can say, this is the plan. We can't say, we can't expect what will be happening because we have to make things happen, which means we started to create the plan BC based on the geopolitical scenarios. We don't know what will be happening to the relation between US and Japan depends on perhaps the leadership of the United States or leadership of the world, but we have to make business. We have to keep going on. So plan B, plan C, that costs a lot. So we decided to increase gross margins so that we can be resilient, so that we can do this plan B, C. So that's a huge change as a CEO to manage these difficult times and cost more. So we need more Intel people. Please knock the door of the Suntory. And I think this is a huge change of the landscape to manage a global company.
Great. Yeah, we definitely have a room full of folks that I'm sure could be helpful to you in that realm. How about we hear from you, Sawada-san?
My case is our NTT Group now is almost 340,000 people in the world, 40% in the outside Japan in the moment. I went back to the 2018. I would be a CEO. At that time, it's a lot of diversity existing in the intra group. So at first, we set up the shared value that connect, trust, integrity. However, every person want to keep their way. So I try to introduce the management system. I'm sorry, not a global type of a way. So because of globalization, Niinami-san mentioned that has already changed everything in the world. Now the focus is the geopolitics issues that localism come to us. So it's me, I want to combine the global and the local. The 80% coming from the local, 20% only global. So it's me, the usually the United States globalism or the American way is 100% global standard. That is not, doesn't work. Even though, of course in Japan or the other European countries. So 80 to 20. Those type of combined, coexisting type of leadership I introduced. That's one of the way, I think, in a leadership.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I just echo the Sawada-san's comment, and plus I urge Japanese CEOs, just like Sawada-san, to engage with the lots of the international organizations. Sawada-san is the head of the Japan-U.S.
Business.
Yes, I think we Japanese CEOs have to engage with lots of global associations. And to be honest, I travel too much, but I need to. For example, I'm a global advisory board member of the CFR and Business Council of the United States, IBC of World Economic Forum, and Asia Business Council's chairman. So Japan is far east, and sitting here cannot bring information which is so important in the world. And we have to learn from Korea, we have to learn from Singapore, because Japan is toward the declining population, which we can't stop spending as much as 7 trillion yen over many years. And plus, the government wants to spend 3.6 trillion yen. It doesn't work. We have to accept the reality. Our population is declining. So, which means look at Korean companies, moving around, flying around. We Japanese CEOs have to do. And U.S. friends, let us give us such opportunities to engage. And this is great function. And we want to have more engages with the U.S. Parties and friends to discuss what will be happening in the world.
Wonderful. Yeah, this hopefully is a forum for us to be able to do that and begin to do that at people-to-people connections. So for my final two questions, given that we know the importance of our next generation of leaders, both to our work and to our future of this new era of U.S.-Japan relations, my final two questions are actually from one of our Tomodachi alumni, Momoko Tamamura, who's actually here with us today.
Oh, yeah.
So she has a question for each of you. For Sawada-san, the first one is for you. She says, I'm told that you love to read books. And she would love to know if there's one book that you have read that's had the most significant impact on your life, and why?
One book?
Yeah, I think we just have time for probably one book.
Okay. So I went to pick up the two books.
Okay, two books.
I'll read.
Yeah, I'm sorry, because one is a very internal, my mindset changing, the very big impact. That's coming from UK's the self-help.
Self-help.
Yes, Samuel Smiles. That 150 years ago, that book I wrote in terms for over 300 Western success stories, but that's based on the integrity. And also very famous sentences coming from this book. Heaven helps those who helps themselves. That's in Japanese, the jijo. In independency and to try to myself. That's the basic mindset. That's very big impact coming from this book to Japan in 150 years ago translated by Masanao Nakamura. That's because that's very good the dignity and integrity including this book. The other one is Niinami-san mentioned the geopolitics that coming from the United States, the same Samuel Huntington. And that I forget the name of a book in the English.
Oh, you could say it in
Collapse of civilization.
Collapse of civilization.
Those that 文明の衝突. That so they indicated is a Japanese civilization, the number 8 civilization he indicated. That is the first case. Japanese culture, not culture, that is a civilization. Very interesting type of, that's very related to Levi-Strauss type of structuralism. That's very interesting. Oh, sorry, the second book. Only one is the self-help.
Self-help, great. Definitely, we could tell you're a philosopher as well. And then final question for you, Niinami-san. The founder of Suntory believed in yatta minahare, which is the spirit of ambition to dream big, take challenges, and never give up. So with that in mind, what risks do you feel are worth taking, particularly for someone that is younger and just starting out in their career?
Well, I think without doing anything you want to do at your youth, you would regret. So just to do it, and I mean, doing something different than the other people doing. I think to get in, you feel fear, but once you got in, you can make that happen. And even though you made a failure, that would be a good asset for you. That's the spirit of Silicon Valley, of the United States. We have to learn from that. But silver lining of this country is we see so many young generation doing that. So I see so many cases of yatta minahare amongst the young people. But I urge their 40s or 50s, they can do it because generative AI is very much user-friendly. And some people started to make use of it by applying GAI to transfer their know-how. And their 50s, they have lots of know-how. By the way, we started to provide the lessons to people above 50s of the GAI. 85% of people passed the first exam. And they are now working on applications of GAI. So I think definitely yatta minahare with the new technology, but the new technology doesn't mean that it's hard to get in the domain. I mean, so it's so interesting. But we leaders must let them know yatta minahare is not a fearful thing, but just to create their own skill set, even though they make failure. So it doesn't matter. Just move on.
Great thing, and it's also promising to hear that you still see great potential in those that are over 50.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
I'm learning a lot. Even I'm in 60s, so so which means in this country, generation matters. But over years, I think because of technology, as long as if you have the aspiration, you can overcome age. So that's my belief. And still I have the yatta minahare spirit.
Well, thank you both so much for making time to share your insights and your wisdom with us. We're deeply grateful for you to make time to be here and for you to both continue to serve as part of our board of counselors and all of your support for U.S.-Japan Council. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.